Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boscheman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the forecast for each life path number for this full moon that's occurring on November 5th or 6th, 2025, depending on where you live in the world. This is a general forecast. If you would like your own personal numerology reading, please book some time with me. My information can be found in the description box below. All right, let's go ahead and take a look. Life path number 1, this full moon is highlighting your career sector. Not only your career, but your expertise, how you share your gifts with the world, how you get your wisdom out into the world. And it can also have a focus on finances or your power dynamics, your influence that you might have in the world, and to take a closer look at that. There will likely be some kind of greater insights that could come in for you around your career, again, or how you share that, your gifts with the world, how you share your expertise, because you're working with the 17-8 and the 18-9. Now, the 17-8, again, is this what brings in the focus of career, power, money, status, etc. But the 17-8 is also very benefic. So it kind of brings in those, or has a potential to bring in those gifts, those rewards, those accolades, that expansion that maybe you've been looking for in some area of your life as it pertains to this 8 energy. The reason why I feel like you'll likely have some greater insights that come in, or inspirations, greater ideas, new beginnings, new things that feel very divinely guided when it comes to your career, or again, how you share that expertise, is because you're working with the 18-9. Now, the 18-9 can bring in closure, closing things out, the end of a cycle, something like that. Or if there's something where, you've been working really hard to tie up the loose ends, finish a project, get it off your plate, maybe before the holidays, something like that. You could see that, you could feel that push to do so, and you could also see things kind of falling in line to assist. The 18-9 is a very divinely guided energy. So again, what comes in for you around this full moon will likely feel almost destined or fated, or like you're getting some help from the universe that might be expected or unexpected. But listen to your intuition, your inner, guidance system. Listen to those downloads. Pay attention to your dreams, what inspires you, what kicks up your passion around this time, because it's likely that there's a key here to, again, expand your career in some way, or add some kind of a service, or maybe even expand your knowledge or expertise in some way. So maybe going back to school or something like that. Very, very possible at this time. So pay attention to what comes in for you around this full moon. And you can take your time in deciding how you want to utilize this information that comes in for you around this time to again, enhance whatever area of your life you decide to use it for. The other piece I want to mention here is the 18-9 can bring in a lot of deep healing. And the 17-8, again, brings in that very benefic energy of support, of sort of things happening as if by magic in a beautiful way. So if there's relationships, if there's power struggles that need some kind of healing or balancing, something, needs your attention, then this is such a beautiful time to, put your attention there, because you could see some greater healing, some greater metamorphosis take place around this full moon. But again, it's a full moon. You're working with a cycle of the 9, so there will likely be some things closing out. But it could just be, again, because you're working with the 17-8 along with the 18-9, it could be just closing out those things that you've wanted to close out, that you wanted to see things come to completion or fruition. And you could likely see that around this time. And then you could see some rewards from that as well. So beautiful energy for you all around this full moon, ones. Take care. Bye for now. Life path number 2, you all are going to be working with a vibration of the 18-9 and the 19-1. So this could feel like a really busy period for you, a very busy cycle. You've got basically the energy of the 18-9 that says we're closing things out, we're tying up loose ends, we're finishing projects that we've been working on. We're no longer procrastinating, we're making sure that the work is getting done and off our plate. So you could see things, again, sort of your schedule picking up, or things just feeling busy, like trying to, again, tie up those loose ends and get them off your plate. And then you have the 19-1 that you're also working with in conjunction to that energy. And this says this is the time of new beginnings, new opportunities, new initiations, new starts. So it's very likely that you will see things, again, kind of complete and come off your plate, and immediately following new things come in that need your attention. And that also require you to be quite decisive in what you say yes to and what you say no to when it comes to these new opportunities. It can be a really unique period or a unique cycle when you've got the endings and the beginnings happening at the same time. So again, it can kind of feel like you don't have time to catch your breath. You're kind of getting up, finishing up what you need to finish up. But then as soon as you do that, new things are coming in. And I would say just be mindful of scheduling time, scheduling downtime, scheduling time for rest and relaxation, being decisive, not like overthinking it, not second guessing yourself when it comes to these new opportunities that might be coming in for you, or the new insights or the new ideas. The 19-1 is asking you to take the lead. So again, because it's in conjunction with this 18-9, you're going to have to be decisive about what it is that you are no longer procrastinating with and tying up those loose ends, what you're getting off your plate, what you're saying no to, what you're releasing, maybe what you're healing, something like that, and what you're saying yes to. So there's a lot of moving parts with this energy for you all. And again, it's going to require you to come back to yourself, follow your inner guidance, not second guess yourself, be decisive, and then take the action. Right? This one energy is not idle. It's very much about figuring out what you want and then taking the action to move in that direction without second guessing yourself. Another side of this is because the 18-9 can be very healing and the 19-1 can really be about you, this can be a time for releasing, old patterns that no longer serve you, or faulty belief systems or values that, again, are just outdated or have expired and are no longer serving you or your evolution forward. So this could be a time where you're really asked to, work towards releasing that and being open to a new perspective, a new way of doing things, and then taking the opportunity to try that new way of doing things. So this energy is going to ask you to be vulnerable. It's going to ask you to be open and open-minded when it comes to your own greater healing process. And it's through that healing, again, that you will learn even more about yourself and probably even more about other people within your life and the world around you. But you might come out of this full moon having big new perspectives about your beliefs about the world and your beliefs about yourself that can really assist you and help you moving forward. So really beautiful energy around this full moon. I hope it's a great one. Take care. Bye for now. Life path number 3, you are going to be working with the vibration of the 19-1 and the 22, so 202. And with this 19-1 energy, this is about new beginnings, new initiations, new ways of trying things, thinking outside the box, taking risks, being more assertive when it comes to, again, what you want, how you're going to go after that, what that looks like. But the 19-1 promises new beginnings in some area of your life. Now, because it's in conjunction to the 202, this is about relationships, not necessarily just romantic relationships, but this is about those, how we relate to other people. But you could find yourself in a position where you're actually really bringing people together, where you are the one who is seeing where there's disconnect and finding opportunities for greater growth, reconnection, unity, that sort of thing. So you might be called around this full moon to be the mediator a little bit. You're the one who is meant to be a little bit more unbiased, to stand back and see the bigger picture for how things really are, as opposed to being too dialed in to where you're missing that bigger picture. And in doing so, again, you can serve as sort of that person who can bring in a greater balance or a greater harmony to a situation. And through that process will bring greater success to that situation. So it sounds like a lot of work, but you are definitely stepping into some kind of leadership role around this full moon, that because of that one energy, that again is going to give you that opportunity to sort of be the leader, to kind of, again, find the ways to bring greater peace and balance and harmony to a situation with other people who are involved. And it can be really, really, truly beautiful. And there can be a lot of, I don't want to say like recognition, but there can be a lot of fulfillment in that as well. So if you find around this full moon, because it's a full moon, so it can be a little sensitive as well, instead of focusing just on solely on your own needs and what you want to see out of the situation, try to be a little bit more sort of dialed back and observant and see how you can use your talents, your gifts, your wisdom, your ingenuity to create that greater balance, to bring people together, to create success through collaboration or whatever it may be. Really beautiful energy here. Now, I will also say, because it's the 19-1, it's very much a love vibration. So for some of you, because of course we also have the 2 vibration, this could be a very divinely guided, fated, or destined connection that comes in for you around this time, that is meant to be a significant part of your life in some way. So it could be romantic for some of you. For some of you, it could be closing out some kind of romantic or deeper soul connection. But it will likely be done in a really beautiful, harmonious way because of the supportive energy of the 19-1. But yeah, so for some of you, this could be a romantic period. And I would say, take the risk. Put yourself out there, speak up for yourself. You're your own best advocate. Speak up for what you need, what you're looking for. Be very honest, be vulnerable, be open to the other person. And this can really produce some really beautiful connections around this full moon. Again, some may be romantic, but for many of you, it may be just those deeper, satisfying connections where you played a really big role in making sure it was satisfying. And the other piece of this that I'll mention is, because you've got that 1 energy and the 2 energy, this is also about bringing in greater balance within your own life. What do you need for greater balance, greater harmony, greater unity within your own life and your own experience? So if there's areas of life for you that feel really out of balance, very draining, very combobulated, I would say this is a time to get your ducks in a row and figure out how can you bring that greater balance into your life so that it doesn't have the adverse effects down the road from being out of balance for too long. So I hope it's a great one. Take care, 3s. Bye for now. Life path number 4. So you are going to be working with vibration of the 22-202 and the 21-3. So really there's a focus around this full moon around relationships, not necessarily just romantic relationships, but that art of relating, connecting with others, finding sort of the common ground, compromise, whatever's needed within those connections to bring greater peace, balance, and harmony. But you've also got this vibration of the 3 that you're working with. And so this brings in, again, collaboration, creativity, sharing your gifts, brainstorming, connecting with others, working together in some way. So there's a really strong focus here on how can you connect with others? How can you share ideas and be open to the ideas of others so that you can work smarter, not harder? And you could see a really big sort of shift when it comes to your creativity or your projects that you're working on, where you might feel stuck in some area, especially as a 4, if you're trying to do it alone. And this full moon could bring in the resources, the support, the collaborations that are needed in order to take a project or or your career or even a relationship to the next level. So pay attention to the opportunities that present at this time to mingle, to connect, to socialize, to, again, collaborate in some way. And don't shy away from that. You are meant to connect with others and, again, be open to new ways of doing things that collaboration can bring in for you. And I say that because usually with 4 energy, it can be sort of in the box kind of thinking, and it can be uncomfortable kind of going too far outside of that box when it comes to figuring out, how to get to the solution, whatever that solution may be. And so with this really strong 3 energy, really strong 2 energy, it's just this call to, ask for the help that you need, ask for the support, recognize where your limitations are, find the people who have the strengths where you might have those limitations, and you will see that you will make so much more progress. So it might require you to put yourself out there a little bit more, and, but I think you'll enjoy the benefits of that. There's such a strong focus on, again, creativity, creation, sharing your ideas, expressing yourself, and expressing yourself authentically and as truly as possible, but doing it in a collaborative way and not trying to be that hyper independent, I can do it all myself, I don't need anyone to assist me type of energy. This is so much about collaboration, and that's where you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck. Let's put it that way. So say yes to the invitations that come through, and it might even require you, again, putting yourself out there to make those connections. And I think you'll be really happy with the results. The other thing I will say about this is just pay attention to your messaging, to your words, to the written spoken word, and what you're putting out into those connections. Just make sure that, you're cognizant of your delivery. Sometimes 4s, we can be very direct. We we can see the solution, and so we're working towards it. And so you just want to make sure that your messaging, you're cognizant of the delivery. I hope it's a great one. Take care, everyone. Bye for now. Life path number 5, you are going to be working with the vibration of the 21-3 and the 22-4. This is interesting because this is an opportunity around this full moon to really ground in your expression, your creativity, your gifts, whatever it may be. And so what I mean by that is you could have an opportunity to bring your ideas to life, to take something from the conception to something tangible, something real. And this might just be the beginning of that, where you are just making those connections, you're seeing the path forward, but you can kind of see like, okay, this is how it's going to transpire, or this is the strategy, or these are the steps that I need to take, or this is where I need to focus my energy in order to bring this creative project or bring my gifts to, turn them into something tangible. That's very, very possible at this time. And with the 22-4, this is a master number, and it can indicate when it comes in a cycle, things picking up, things speeding up. It could be a very busy time for you at this time. Again, think big, dream big with this energy, because it's going to require a lot from you, but you're certainly capable of it. Like, again, if you want to bring a creative project to life, or bring or share your gifts in some way, and really kind of ground that and stabilize it and see it come to fruition, you're going to have to obviously put in the effort, focus your energy, and probably ask for the support to assist, or the assistance to help you to do that. And this is a time where you don't want to think too small. The 22-4 promises big results, but it's going to require, again, a lot of you in the process. And it's not something where you're going to see that instant gratification. It's going to take time, and it might take a significant amount of time. So this is one of those testing periods somewhat for 5s where it's saying, okay, you can have your biggest dreams come true. You're going to have to build it. The 22-4 is the master builder. You're going to have to build it. You're going to have to focus and put your energy into it until you see those results. And you can't give up too soon. You can't give up too easily. You've got to persevere. But you're not meant to do it alone. You can get the support that's needed, collaboration, working with others, making it, sharing ideas, making it happen together can really be not only fulfilling, but it can really take your project or your creativity or whatever to the next level. So there's definitely energy here around that collaboration and sharing ideas and working with others to achieve those goals. Now with the 22-4, it's this powerhouse energy that says, ask for what you want at this time and go straight to the people who can give it to you or who can assist you. It's definitely a cycle that's asking you to get very serious about your creativity or your writing or speaking or expressing yourself in some way. And it can be about just how you express yourself, right? Whether it's the clothes that you wear or something about you where maybe you've been minimizing or hiding in the shadows a little bit. This is really big energy, especially coupled with that 3 vibration. It's really pushing you to stand your ground, stand firm in your confidence, in your expertise, in your gifts, in sharing that in some way. Or again, just expressing yourself, your true, authentic self. It's a really powerful vibration here. It's going to require you, though, to put in the effort and all those things. But this can be or prove to be a very, very successful period, fruitful period. Now, again, keep in mind, this is a shorter cycle. It's around the full moon. But if you're starting something at this time, just know that it will prove successful. It will bring the results. It might take quite a while to see it, but you'll see it. On the flip side of that, some of you, this could be a period where you're seeing those results. You're receiving those results from a creative project, from maybe publishing something or some kind of promotion or something like that. You could be seeing those results. And again, if it's about your self-expression, you could be feeling that confidence come through at this time around this full moon. So very, very powerful period for you all. Take advantage of it. I hope it's a great one. Take care. Bye for now. Life path number 6, you all are going to be working with the vibration of the 22-4, which is a master number, and 23-5. So this is an interesting dynamic because the 22-4, when it comes in a cycle, can be very rewarding. It can bring in tremendous gifts, things like promotions or seeing the rewards of the effort that you've been putting in, especially if you've been putting in a tremendous amount of effort over a significant period of time. You could definitely see some things come in around this time that feel very fulfilling, very rewarding, like you're seeing the return of your investment, so to speak. It can also indicate that it's will be a very busy period where you can kind of feel like you're being pulled in a million different directions and your expertise is needed in a million different directions. But it's helping you to really stand firm in your confidence and share that expertise, or just to feel like the foundations that you've been working so hard to secure are finally secured. And that all your hard work and effort paying off. So it can be a really, really satisfying and rewarding cycle to move through. Now it's interesting because you also have the vibration of the 5. So the 5 is saying, first of all, this might be a time for celebration. The 5 energy wants you to experience life with all your senses. It doesn't want you to take things too serious, and it wants you to be as adaptable as possible. When you have the 5 in a cycle, it can bring in shifts and transformation and sometimes upheaval, sometimes disruption. But because it's in conjunction with this 22-4 cycle, which is very benefic, very supportive, very rewarding, I'm really kind of seeing it more as the shifts that take place at this time will feel very supportive, will feel like you're kind of winning. If you've been feeling like you've been losing for a while, or you haven't seen things come to fruition, or haven't been satisfied with the results, I feel like the shifts and the transformations, or the greater awareness or clarity and understanding that can come in for you around this time, can feel very, very rewarding. So it's almost like you're getting that deeper understanding of something that makes you feel very confident and very secure in your foundation. So that's very, very possible. Now, for some of you, there may be some shifts in how you share your gifts, share your expertise, how you reach your goals. There might be some clarity that comes in around that, and you're going to have to possibly make some shifts in order to achieve whatever it is that you're looking to achieve. Very, very powerful energy here. Definitely seeing some shifts, but again, those shifts feel very supportive. And even the clarity or whatever that comes in feels very supportive. Definitely feels like some kind of celebration or an opportunity for that, or an opportunity for greater relief if there's something you've been struggling with or working with that has felt like you just can't get through it, or you can't get the momentum. I think you're going to see that now. For some of you, there could be some swift changes, swift opportunities that come in that are going to kind of really require you to show up in all that you are, right? That's that 22-4 energy coupled with the 5. So this could be a time that could really test your confidence in your abilities, in yourself, whatever. And you're going to have to overcome that self-doubt in order to say yes to the opportunities that may present at this time and to get the most out of it. So yeah, interesting energies here. It could feel a little bit like tug of war, like internal tug of war coming in, because it is both of these energies are fast paced. So again, just be careful about burning out or overburdening yourself or taking on too much. Keep coming back to your center. Stay secure and solid in your knowing of what it is that you want at this time. Be adaptable and yeah, just kind of go with things. Be curious, explore, see where it takes you, and it will be rewarding. I can almost guarantee it with this 22-4 energy. Don't let yourself get too frazzled while you move with this energy, especially the energy of the 5. Just see where it wants to take you. And this 22-4 will keep you grounded enough so that you'll be able to make solid decisions. But don't be afraid to live life a little bit and not take things too serious. Let your hair down, find your joy, experience it. And yeah, through that, you'll build a really solid foundation during this cycle, or you'll be celebrating the one that you've already created and you're seeing the results of. Hope it's a great one. Take care, 6s. Bye for now. Life path number 7. I am loving this energy for you all for this full moon. You're working with the vibration of the 23-5 and you're working with the vibration of the 24-6. So this is kind of like when these two energies come into conjunction, it's kind of like divine protection for your, like, the relationships that are closest to your heart. And so this can be a time when you just feel really, really supported, really loved, really cherished. This can be a time where if there's been any kind of, issues or concerns with partners, close family, close friends, your close-knit community, you could really see that resolve at this time. You could see some significant changes or shifts within those connections that really brings in greater peace and harmony and balance. Now, and again, it can feel almost like there's this divine guidance that's assisting in that renewal or that coming together. Really, really beautiful energy. Now, for some of you, there can be this need for greater clarity or greater awareness when it comes to some of those connections. And I'm really talking about those close-knit connections, although it can also be just, again, the way that we relate to another person, because you've got that 2 energy involved with the 24-6. But really, it's more those deep, deep connections. You could see some shifts come in at this time, whether it's the conversation that needs to be had, whether it's someone moving in, someone moving out, whether it's taking a relationship to the next level. I mean, really just a myriad of things that could come in at this time. But because it's that 24-6, this is a really strong love vibration that has to do with relationships. And because this 4 is involved with the 24-6, this is like the cement that keeps the glue that keeps everything together. And so there's something here about making shifts or changes, or again, expressing yourself in a way that can help to solidify those connections more deeply. So you might be called to, again, express yourself in a way that feels very different, or to express yourself in a way that is very unconventional than how you would normally express yourself. Very, very possible. You may also meet someone at this time who is very unconventional, very different from who you would normally date or be friends with or would be a part of your community. It's very, very possible at this time that the connections that you make could look very different than what you're used to. And I would say be very open to it, because this can take you on an adventure unlike any other, and it can really open up your world to so much. And with 7s, a lot of times 7s can kind of go more serious at times because there's a lot of internal things going on. And so this energy of the 23-5 and the 24-6 kind of invites people in who can help you to relax, to not take life so serious, to enjoy life with all your senses. So I love this energy for you all. And I think that the people that you meet at this time, or again, those connections that you take to a deeper level, will bring so much joy and just relaxation, and allowing you to open up more and maybe be more vulnerable, but to really truly just let your hair down a little bit and not take life so serious. Really, really beautiful energy here. But for those of you, because this is a full moon, so for those of you who see significant disruption or, things like loss or things, people falling away, relationships falling away or breaking at this time, just know if it falls away or breaks at this time, it's because it's meant to. This 23-5 is a very divinely guided energy. It's a protective type of energy. So it's not going to disrupt what doesn't need disrupting. It's only going to come in and shake up or remove or make those significant changes to the relationships and the dynamics that truly need it. And so if that occurs for you around this full moon, just know it's a higher power at play. It's for your highest good. And it's just creating space for the people, places, things that will truly, truly be in your best interest moving forward. And one thing I will say about this energy is don't fight the change that wants to come in, whether it's, feels good or it feels uncomfortable. Don't fight the change. The change that comes in around this time, especially around your relationships or your home life, are right on time. It's right when it's meant to happen. and yeah, go with it and be adaptable, see where it's taking you. And I think you'll be really pleased with it. So I hope it's a great one. Take care, 7s. Bye for now. Life path number 8. So you're going to be working with the vibration of the 24/6 and the 25/7. And so what this really brings in is depth in your relationships. So it may require at this time for you to go much deeper within those connections, to be vulnerable, to have the conversations that you've been wanting to have, or maybe that you've been avoiding having. But those conversations that really break the surface layer, that break through the illusions, and that go much deeper. It can be with a partner, obviously, with family, with friends, anywhere where maybe there's been some miscommunication, where there's been some disconnect, where there's been maybe some just misunderstanding. This is an opportunity to connect on a deeper level and to get to the truth of something within that connection, to break through the barriers that may have been keeping you from really showing up truly, authentically as yourself, and or recognizing the truth or the authenticity of the other person, or accepting that truth in some way. The 7 truly has us go deeper within ourselves to help us to understand ourselves better. It's about greater self-discovery and getting to the truth of who we are. And then in doing so, it opens us up more deeply to our connections, to the people who are in our lives. And so there could be some of that around this full moon as well, is taking the time and the space for that self-reflection, to go deeper within yourself, and to ask yourself those questions. What is it that I want in relationships? What is it I want in these connections? How am I currently showing up in these relationships or these connections? Because there is also that accountability and that responsibility that we have within ourselves when it comes to connections, because it's a two-way street, right? So I think this could be a really sensitive time. I mean, it's a full moon. This could be a really sensitive period, but it's allowing you to, again, get to the truth of what you want your connections to look like, what your connections currently look like. Where are they satisfying? Where are they not so satisfying? Where is there disconnect? Where does there need to be some TLC, some work? Where do you need to have those more difficult conversations? It's just about going deeper, getting to the truth of the situation, and not just taking it at surface level, or not taking it from the point of view of your own mind, your own ego, your own stories. The conversation has to be had in order to take the connection deeper. And again, it can be with romantic relationships, friendships, colleagues, it doesn't matter. It's about getting that depth within your connections at this time. And you can only do that, again, by first figuring out what it is that you want within those connections, how it is that you're showing up, having that, again, that heart-to-heart with yourself, and then having those conversations with others. So I do think that there's a really strong focus here. There really is a strong focus here on relationships, because you got that 24/6, which is the art of relating to another, right, to energy, bringing in greater balance and harmony and peace and unity within your connections. You have that 4, which is like the cement, that kind of the glue that holds everything together. And then you have the 6, which is about love, truth, and honesty, and your deeper connections. And then, of course, the 7 and the 25/7 is more about like the shifts that need to occur in order to get to that depth, in order to break free from sort of the illusion that might be at that surface level of some of your connections. So relationships are at the forefront. First of all, your relationship with yourself, right? Understanding yourself on a deeper level, very possible this time. But then, taking that to the next step when it comes to your connections and your relationships. Now, again, this is a full moon. So for some of you, this deeper contemplation, this deeper understanding that you'll, gain from yourself will probably lead, or could lead, to some separation, some losses, some, figuring out that a connection is not for you anymore. It's served its purpose. It's kind of reached its expiration date. And that's okay. It's always about about serving what's the highest good for all involved, not just ourselves or not just the other person. And so this full moon could bring things to closure or bring things to culmination when it comes to your relationships. And instead of taking that personal or, thinking it's all your fault or the other person's fault, just understand that some soul contracts do come to an end when the work is done between both souls. And it could just be that kind of situation. It doesn't have to end in anger or vindictiveness or any of those things. So a lot of soul diving, especially when it comes to your connections and your relationships. Also finding that greater balance or peace and harmony when it comes to those connections that might be very difficult and that maybe you can't have the conversation with the other person in the physical. But finding peace in that connection and not letting it weigh you down. On the flip side of that, though, also, I will say this is a soulmate type of energy, like a deep, deep type of connection that is very, very possible for some of you. So you could meet the love of your life at this time is very, very possible under with this combination of energies. So yeah, say yes to the people who enter your life at this time. Some of them could be life-changing. So I hope it's a great one. Take care, Aids. Bye for now. Life path number 9. So you all are going to be working with the vibration of the 25-7 and the 26-8. So there's something here about going much, much deeper when it comes to your career, how you share your wisdom, how you share your expertise. This full moon could bring up a lot of questions for you when it comes to how you're doing that. You might see some greater shifts around this time, some new opportunities that come in around this time around, again, career, expertise, how you share that expertise, but also money, finances, power, status, influence, all those things, right, that the 8 kind of governs. But there's a heavy need for collaboration here and working with others. Relationships are really important at this time as well. Connecting with others, maybe even mentoring or getting mentored by another is very, very possible here. The reason why I say that is because this combination of the 7 and the 8 together can indicate higher education. So, or again, going to some kind of workshop where you get to really hone your skills. A lot of that is very possible. And you could be, again, kind of going deeper into understanding what is needed. What's needed in order for you to feel ready to share your gifts? What's needed for you to be able to handle that success when it comes in, whatever success means for you? What is needed in order for you to have a good relationship with power and what it means to be powerful and all those things, right? So the 7 is not only just about self-reflection and greater, understanding of self. It's also about getting to the truth of something and going deeper, going much, much deeper than the surface layer. And so for you all, this is an opportunity to go much, much deeper around those themes of the 8. So again, where is it that maybe you have some power struggles? Maybe you have conflict or issues with authority or something like that, right? Or maybe there's situations where other people are trying to take advantage of you or manipulate you, or maybe it's the roles are reversed and you're in a dynamic where you're the one seeking control or trying to manipulate the situation to get what you want out of it. There's a whole lot that can come in around this energy that's asking you to go deeper. And at the end of the day, it's about you, right? It's about you going deeper into your own inner world and your own psyche and facing your own shadows when it comes to these themes. We always say I want success or I want this or I want that when it comes to money or whatever. But how will you handle it when it comes in? And we might say oh no, I want success. I want these things. But a lot of times when that comes in, then we don't feel worthy, or we have imposter syndrome, or we, or we try to sabotage it because we don't have the confidence or whatever. So these themes could definitely come up for you around this full moon that's asking you to release whatever it is that may be keeping you from opening up to the possibility of what you're capable of sharing your gifts, of being successful, of being in a powerful position or being influential, and how you will handle that. And a lot of times we don't know how we'll handle it until we're in it, right? But there's definitely work that can be done. And when we move through, of course, the 7th cycle, it's about facing those shadows, going deeper and asking the bigger questions, and then doing that self-reflection around the answers that come in. So for some of you, this is an opportunity to figure out what's the next step when it comes to your career or sharing your expertise. Like, you might be ready to hang the sign on the door, and be open for business, but you might not feel confident enough, or you might not feel ready. And the universe could show you at this time how you are ready and that the time is now, and to not procrastinate, not to sabotage, but to get to the truth of it and put yourself out there. So for some of you, this is go time. For some of you, this is like understanding what is needed from a deeper level in order for you to be ready when it's go time, when it comes to these areas. And again, when it comes to like those power dynamics that might come up for you around this time, or your relationship to money, or whatever comes up around these 8 themes, then it's an opportunity to do that work that's needed, again, in order to be prepared or ready when the time comes to face whatever that is. So big energy here, a lot of opportunities for you to face your shadows, to face, whatever it is that comes up for you around this time, so that you can release it and be ready for all the goodness that wants to come in when you're ready for it. So I hope it's a great one. Take care. Bye for now. Life Path 11-2, you all are going to be working with the vibrations of the 27-9 and the 28-1. This is an interesting combination. So you could feel like you're getting a lot of inspiration, a lot of downloads, a lot of ideas about, what you want to do next. Like, you could be setting some significant goals at this time. And this is a time where I would say you want to connect with others and collaborate, share ideas, bounce things off them, that sort of thing, to some degree. But you also want to be somewhat protective of your little egg that, is new. So like, if you have a new idea that comes in for you and you're very excited about it and passionate about it, if it's in those very early stages, again, it's a beautiful thing to bring people in who can assist and help you to get it off the ground and make it a reality. But you want to be very discerning about who you share your ideas with. And it's not to be overly cautious or cynical or any of those things. It's more about, when an idea is sort of at its point of inception, when it's new and fresh, that's when it's the most vulnerable. And not that the idea is vulnerable, but we're vulnerable. It wouldn't take a whole lot to start to get discouraged about it. It's like if you tell someone, oh, I want to be an astronaut. I don't know, right? Not that people aren't going to be supportive of that, but they're much more likely to start to give you the practical or the realistic reasons why it might not be possible. That's just kind of human nature. I mean, you're going to find your cheerleaders and your support team and all that as well. But it's just that at that very beginning stage, it's so much easier to listen to the naysayers or to believe the reasons why something is not possible, as opposed to why it is possible. And that's sometimes the breaking point for where we tend to give up on our dreams. We start to have second thoughts. We start to doubt ourselves. We start to lose that steam that we had when the idea came in, because we're being easily influenced by the fears or the worries or someone else's reality. If the idea came in for you, then it's your job to be curious, to explore, to start to take steps in the direction of making it a reality. And I would just say, just be mindful of who you share that new idea with. And it's not so much about someone stealing it or something like that, although you are also working with the vibration of the 28-1, which can definitely bring in contradictions, competition, feeling like, again, people want what you have type of thing. So it's just a really interesting energy to work with. I would say, again, if new ideas or inspirations come in for you around this time, which they likely will under these energies, because there's definitely a theme here or sort of a strong energy of kind of completing something, right? Something's finished or an idea has been completed or whatever, and looking to the future to the next goal and what it is that you want to achieve next, and starting to make that, like starting to bring that to life. And so with that energy and with, again, the inspirations that come in for you at this time, just, again, be discerning in who you share it with. Seek out the people who you know to be supportive, who you know are in your corner, who you know are going to cheer you on. Even if they know how difficult it is or how impossible they feel it is, they're going to give you the opportunity to go down this path and figure it out for yourself and be supportive of you in the process. So, yeah, those ideas that come in for you at this time that you're feeling really called to pursue them. See where they take you. It might be a dead end, but at least you'll know, right? You're not being easily dissuaded from other people's commentary. You're doing the work, you're figuring it out for yourself. And then if it doesn't work out, there's that deeper understanding of, I did everything I could do to try to make it work out. So what's next? So really beautiful energy here, but just use your good judgment, right? There's no need to rush anything. There's no need to be too rash. Take your time, explore. Let yourself be creative. Trial and error type of energy. Take this idea, whatever it is, and walk with it. You don't have to like force anything. So it would also say with this vibration or these vibrations together, be prepared for things to come up suddenly that will likely sort of test your resolve or test how badly you want whatever this is. That's very possible this time. This is a full moon, so there are definitely things potentially closing out at this time. And that's what I mean, like, especially with the 28-1, there's something that's coming to completion or closure. And it could be like maybe you've been like in that lull or that void for a little while. That could be coming to a close with fresh new ideas or new goals coming in for you. And that shift, right, those new events that come in suddenly could kind of push you to see, okay, how bad do you want this? Or how open are you going to be to exploring to see where this path takes you? So there's a lot of like nuances with these energies. And what I would say is, again, use your good judgment, be prepared to be curious, and just hold that egg close to your heart as it comes in. And surround yourself with the people who want to see you be successful, not the people who are going to deter you from following your inspirations. Because you're an 11-2. Your whole job in this lifetime is to, do what inspires you, to be that inspirational leader. And if you're listening to the naysayers and you're letting that determine, the outcome, then you're going to lose that inspiration pretty quickly. Or you're going to be frustrated that what you were inspired by didn't work out. But you also need to look at the details to see, why didn't it work out? Was it because you gave it your all, you tried everything to make it work out? Or is it because you gave up too early because of what other people were saying? Or again, the fear, or it became too difficult or whatever. This is one of those energies where the outcome, or sort of like, how you'll feel about the outcome, will solely rest in your hands. So you have the reins. You can direct your energy down the path that your soul wants to take you, or take it on down to the dump. You get to decide. Beautiful energy, interesting energies for this full moon. But I think you have an opportunity at this time to really bring an idea from the point of concept to reality. So make the most of it. I hope it's a great one. Take care. Bye for now. Life Path 22-4. So we're going to be working with the vibrations of the 38-11-2 and the 39-3. This is beautiful energy for this full moon. So ultimately, this energy is asking us to follow our inspirations. We have the potential here to something could come in at this time, whether it's an idea or, a download or an inspiration or an opportunity that ignites the passion from within, that gets us really pumped to, whether it's a new goal, whether it's like a new work opportunity, even a new relationship, something like that, a new opportunity to collaborate. But it's something that brings sort of the wind back in our sails and puts us back in spirit, right? Inspired. And whatever that is that comes in, whatever it is that you start to get excited about, that's where you're meant to focus your energy at this time. So especially if you've been feeling kind of frustrated with things that haven't been working, this is a beautiful cycle to focus on not only what is working, but focus on this new goal, this new opportunity. And it might just be, again, it might be the concept that comes in at this time. It might be the idea that comes in at this time, but it has the potential to get you excited. And it's that excitement that the 22-4 needs in order to step into that master builder type of energy to build that dream, to bring it from the point of conception to reality. And because with the 4 energy, it's so much about heart center and being heart led, we're meant to follow what lights us up, what feels aligned, what feels good, what feels right. So there's a very strong possibility, especially working with the 38-11-2 energy, that whatever comes in at this time has that power to light the fire from within again, to get us motivated, to feel ambitious again, and to feel, again, especially if it's something we've been working on for a while, we could feel that wind back in our sails. And that's so promising, especially for a 22-4. So you could feel very, very inspired at this time to build something, to be a part of something, to have a solution for something, and then to have the opportunity to figure out how to make that solution a reality and to bring it to life. And that's so powerful, especially for 22-4s. So I'm loving this. Now, with the 39-3 energy, this is just a very, very supportive energy. And especially because, such a big piece of 22-4 is about being collaborative and working with others to build something, beautiful from something not so beautiful, something significant, a greater resource in the world, whatever it may be. And you're not meant to do that alone. And so this is a time where you could see the people, places, things come in to support you in that process. And that can be so incredibly beautiful. So you might see, people reaching out, or someone, hearing about you from someone else and reaching out and wanting to work with you or wanting to connect with you, wanting to share ideas. You could see different invitations come in at this time. And I would say, say yes to as many as you can, because the more connections you make, the more opportunities for that collaboration to build whatever it is that you feel so inspired by at this time. The other thing I would say is there's an opportunity here for some kind of proposition to come from someone else, right? So it could be an opportunity to work towards something significant with another person, or for you to be the builder of someone else's idea. However, it will likely be something, or it will need to be something that you feel passionate about. So someone might come to you about an idea for, I don't know, right? Building a shelter for abandoned animals. I don't know. And you have the tools necessary to do that, to make it happen. And you're passionate about it because it serves a purpose greater than you that you're excited about. That's very, very possible. So pay attention to the offers that come in at this time, the propositions, and don't be too quick to dismiss it because fear of failure or fear of or self-doubt or whatever. If you feel that inspiration, that excitement, go for it. And sort of along those same lines, this 39-3 energy is such a beautiful opportunity to do something really good for someone else. So especially if you've been sort of hyper-focused on, again, what's not working with what you're trying to accomplish, maybe there's that missing piece that you can't figure it out, then this is such a great opportunity to shift your focus onto others and to help them find solutions for their problems. And then you'll more than likely find the solution to your own problems. And every effort that you put in, again, towards a purpose greater than self, will be rewarded. I mean, it always is. That's just the way of the universe. So beautiful energy here. Also beautiful opportunity for you to feel really, really supported in the work that you do, or your contribution in the world, or sharing your gifts with the world. It doesn't have to be about like career and work, just about how you share you with the world. But you could feel really supported in creating whatever this inspiration is that might come in for you at this time. Or it could be a reignition of something that maybe you were working on previously that you put down because it wasn't working. That could be revamped now. And the potential for success is actually quite high with these energies. So if it inspires you, it's a yes. Go for it. I hope it's a great one. Take care. Bye for now. Life Path 33.6, you guys are going to be working with the vibration of the 49, 13.4, and the 55, 505. So with this energy, this is a really powerful energy. And really there's this cause for celebration in some area of your life. So there's a win here under this full moon. It could be, maybe it's not like this huge grandiose thing that you're celebrating, but maybe it's like something coming to completion, especially because it's under a full moon, that brings some kind of relief for the closure. That's very possible at this time too. But there is this energy of like being surrounded by people who support you, who love you, who celebrate you, who want to see you be successful, all of the things. That's definitely in the mix here. And it could also be like some kind of achievement or accomplishment or goal being reached at this time that is cause for that celebration. That's very possible as well. This is also a beautiful cycle for anything to do with like, not necessarily just career or business, but like, again, how you share your gifts with the world, how you contribute, how you show up. This is a time where, you know, especially if it's something that you've been kind of working at for a while, you could see fulfillment here, feelings of success, feelings of contentment with whatever this is. Seeing your efforts pay off and seeing that steady application, you know, brings the success you're looking for or the satisfaction that you've been looking for. Definitely also opportunities for recognition in some area of your life. So again, if there's something you've been struggling with or kind of moving through or persevering with or having to overcome, could be like a health challenge or something like that. Could be career, whatever, relationship difficulty. It's kind of, you know, coming to, well, you're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Let's put it that way. You're seeing things kind of opening up and not being quite so difficult. You're finding better ways to manage whatever this is, or you're maybe finding a solution that brings significant improvements. That's very, very possible at this time. I would say this is also going to be a cycle, especially because it's a full moon, where you want to take some time and really kind of examine your goals, your pursuits, what it is that you desire. And give yourself the time and the space to really, truly explore that. Because what you might find is like some of the goals that you've been so dedicated towards achieving really aren't serving you anymore or aren't really what you want anymore. And there might need to be some shifts that are made. Or you might find some of the missing puzzle pieces that were there that will help you to achieve the goals, whatever they are. Or you might come up with some new goals that you want to kind of move towards. And that can help to kind of pull you out of any like maybe anxiety that you've been feeling or any kind of like poverty consciousness that you've had, any kind of insecurities that you've had to move through. And it will help you to kind of move through that so that you can kind of move beyond any of the barriers that have been keeping you from reaching your goal. So again, there's this feeling of like contentment, like, okay, I've got this. I can figure it out. I might not see the results just yet, but I know that I can handle this, whatever this is. I can get to the finish line. And I feel good about that. And I feel good about the journey at hand in order to make that happen. So, Yeah, beautiful energy here. Again, there's this really strong element of support and people really, seeing you for you and wanting you to be successful and celebrating you in their own unique ways. So embrace that. Sometimes that can be hard for 33/6s to be on the receiving end of that nurturing and care and support, but it's probably going to come in quite significantly at this time. And I would say, yeah, embrace it. Let other people help you to see your light. So I hope it's a great one. Take care. Bye for now. Life Path 44-8, you are going to be working with a vibration of the 66, so 606, and the 61-7. So this is a time where I would say, go ahead and listen to the wisdom. I'm not going to say advice, but the wisdom given to you during this cycle. And that wisdom can come from those who are in a position that know, right? Who have been through that journey and gained that wisdom, and they're in a position to be able to offer that advice. Or it could come from your higher self at this time. You could get a tremendous amount of insights or downloads at this time coming from your higher self, your soul, helping you to understand the next step or what's needed. This is a cycle where I would say pay attention to your health and listen to what your body is asking you for, whether it's more rest, whether it's better nutrients, whether it's sunlight, getting out in nature, some time alone, some solitude, or surrounding yourself with people who bring you joy, who make you laugh, who make you happy. Listen to your body at this time and give your body what it needs. Body, mind, spirit. There's like this holistic health approach here. With this vibration or this cycle that you're moving through, that's saying don't ignore what your body, mind, spirit are trying to ask you for or are begging you for. Listen to it and give it what it needs. Your past efforts at this time and what it is that you've been kind of putting your energy towards, you could see come to fruition, especially under a full moon. Your success with that, though, will depend on sort of how you handled that, like how much effort you put in, whether you were in a positive mindset when you were putting in that effort or you were more negative. The rewards are going to be in direct proportion to the effort you've put forth with this cycle. The other thing I would say is faith, integrity, concern for others is an absolute must during this cycle. And so whatever you're feeling called into action for, make sure that it's serving something more than just self. There's definitely this energy, though, of sort of moving towards calmer waters and getting some kind of relief. So if there's something, again, where it's felt really choppy, it's felt really difficult, you've been moving through it, this is a time where you could kind of feel that opening up. You might not be fully out of it just yet, but that struggle is just about over. And you're on your way to more successful, more happy outcomes. Again, depending on your circumstances and how you've been feeding into it. If your outlook is solely pessimistic and negative, then you're just probably going to call in more of that. You're going to experience that because that's what you're looking for. But if have been more optimistic, you're, trying to see the good in the situation or learn the lesson of the situation, then you will likely see those struggles start to come to an end and you'll start actually reaping the rewards of the experience that you've been through. The other thing I would say is feels like there's the opportunity for support. So love, interests could come in at this time. Again, friendships, people who are in your corner wanting to help you through this cycle could show up at this time, who again want to see you succeed and have your best interest at heart. There's this strong vibration of coming together, like the pieces coming together, people coming together, people coming back into your life maybe who have been outside of your life for a while. And it just makes more sense. There's just this greater balance, or it's a healthier coming together, that's possible at this time as well. So if you've been having issues with relationships or something along those lines, you could see those clear up at this time under this full moon. But it will have you look at any pettiness. So, this is an opportunity also for greater self-reflection. So if there's things that you need to be accountable for, you need to take responsibility for, or you need to overcome so that you can be in a space for that receptivity of that support, then of course this cycle will have you look at that and work to overcome it. And also with this cycle, there's this opportunity for closure. Again, absolutely with the full moon, but with these vibrations, there's this opportunity for greater closure, resolutions where resolutions are needed. But you're going to be an active participant in that, so you need to make sure that you're doing what you need to do in order to meet that other person halfway, or in order to find the closure in whatever way serves the highest good of all involved within the situation. And it could be about you healing something within you that brings that closure to where you're no longer carrying that burden or that load, which is very, very beautiful within itself. I hope it's a great one. 44/8. Take care. Bye for now.